Hello and good morning, everyone. I hope you had a good weekend and are energized for this week because we're actually going to start a new topic that is kind of similar to what we did in the last couple of weeks, but now we're going to apply the knowledge that we gained over the course of the last lessons. So here in the README for today's lesson, you've got all the information as to how to proceed. So I will let you read this first. And once you're done, you can move on with this video. And here in particular, I'm going to show you what I mean with the first and the second task that I laid out in this section of the README. So the first part is that we want to build the BoardView class in a playground rather than implementing it in an Xcode project. So what that means is that we are going into a playground again, kind of similar to what we did last week, where we were building UI views in a playground. And here I have defined a canvas again, similar to what we did last week as well. And I have assigned it to the live view of the current playground page so that we can see the canvas in the assistant editor. And then I've already my full implementation of the BoardView class here. But right now, as you can see, I folded the whole class so that you can't see the implementation. And that's intentional, of course, because you're supposed to write it yourself. And I'm not going to show you what it looks like from the inside. But in any case, I want to show you how it works and what it should look like in the end once you're done with it. So here I've defined this class, and I want to show you what this class looks like. And basically, the important part about this whole BoardView thing is that the functionality that the BoardView needs to display the grid and receive the touch events is encapsulated inside of the class, so that nobody else from the outside actually knows how this class works. All we are caring about when we are using the BoardView class is what its public API looks like. And the first part of the public API, of course, is the initializer of the class. So in my case, I decided to use an initializer that takes a width and a height for the board that can be used as follows. So I'm creating a new board view. And here you already see the couple of initializers that I created. So I can either instantiate the board view by providing a width and a height for each field, or I can go and provide a width and a height for the whole board already. And that's what I'm going to do. And note that the canvas has a width and a height of 500 and 500. And I think for my board view, it would be appropriate to have a board width of 300 and a board height of 300 points as well, so that it can be nicely displayed on the canvas. As a next step, I'm going to add the board view to the canvas already. So once the live view on the right side in the assistant editor reloads, we'll be able to see the board view. But the coordinates, as of now, will still be on the top left. So I really want to make sure that the board view is centered. And this time I'm not using auto layout constraints. This would be a little bit of an overhead here. Rather, I decide to set the center of the board view directly by assigning it the center of the canvas. So once the view on the right side reloads again, we'll see that the board view will have moved to the middle of the canvas. And now I want to introduce another very important feature of playgrounds, and that is that we actually can interact with the views that we have in the assistant editor live while editing and changing the view itself. So in this case, the board view actually already is implemented to use UI tap gesture recognizers. And in the handler for these tap gesture recognizers, I have a print statement that will display the current coordinates of the field that has been tapped inside the grid. So I want to be able to click on these fields and then display the field that has been tapped down here in the console.